And let's talk about this show, I Kissed the Girl, and they liked it, but apparently the networks didn't like it because they canceled the show after 2 damn seasons. Now, I will admit, I did not ever get a chance to watch I Kissed the Girl or I Kissed the Boy. I think it's a UK show, but it was, if I'm not mistaken, imported to Hulu. So since the show has been chopped, now they're signing petitions. Fans are thousands of people, I should say, have signed a petition demanding the BBC continue to produce I Kissed the Boy and I Kissed the Girl after it was announced the queer franchise had been axed. I Kissed the Boy, the first series of the franchise, aired in 2023 and broke ground as the first dating show on British TV to solely feature levitical men. In 2024, I Kissed a Girl, an all-woman version, was launched and followed the same format as its sibling show. The premise of both programs sees 10 singles enter a gorgeous Italian masseria. Each contestant is instantly matched up with a potential partner, and before even learning each other's names, they share a kiss to see if sparks fly. I hope y'all checking for the hurt. He said, now during the course of the series, the singletons mingle with each other and build new friendships and romantic connections. What's the name of that show that used to come on MTV? Then they did that, and then they did a queer version. I liked that show when it was on. It kind of reminds me that this premise sounds a lot like that. Now, during the course of the series, the singletons mingle with each other and build new friendships and romantic connections, while new bachelors and bachelorettes enter at various points to heat up in the mix. You want to know what this also reminds me of? For the Love of Dilfs. This reminds me of that too, because there was a show on Out TV. I don't know if it's coming back. That Trump's favorite girl, Stormy Daniels, was a host of. And they had and basically they were on there, like they would match them up with each other, a DILF with um I forget what they call like the younger version, like a twink or whatever, like the younger guys or the himbos. That's what it goes. So it was the twink, I mean, so it was the himbos and it was the DILFs, and they kind of put them together, see if they had chemistry, and then to kind of shake things up, they would bring other people in the house, and then they can basically go after whoever that person was dating and be like, oh, this person that's linked up and connected with this person, they can come and be like, oh, I want to go on a date with you, and cause some drama within the house. I actually like that show, but I don't know if it's coming back though. It was on Out TV. Now, they said at the kiss off, each pair decides whether they want to stay together by sealing the deal with a kiss. Those who remain unkissed have to leave the show single. Damn. Now, last week, the BBC said there were no current plans for either show to return after season 2 of I Kissed a Girl airs later this year, with the broadcaster blaming funding challenges on the decision. Saying we are exceptionally proud of I Kissed a Boy slash Girl, the UK's first dating show for the Levitical Plus community. We would like to thank our fabulous Cupid, Danny Minogue, and the entire team at 2-4 for bringing the series to screen. Unfortunately, we have to make a difficult choice in light of our funding challenges, and there are no current plans for the show to return. Now, fans of the Levitical Plus dating show were unsurprisingly, absolutely devastated and called on other broadcasters to pick up the franchise and save it. Now, pop star, homosexual icon, and host Danny Minogue lamented the show's loss and saying being involved in it was the most special experience, while ICAG contestant Amy Spaulding said she was devastated but unsurprised. Who's surprised? Queer storylines and queer stories are being sidelined again while straight storylines blossom in their thousands. Spaulding said. Now, since the news broke, a petition, which is nearly 9,000 signatures, has been launched aimed at convincing TV bosses both shows are worth saving given the importance they hold for the Levitical Plus community. Well, they said they have nearly 9,000 signatures. I'm going to actually go, okay, because now the signatures, they got 9,350. Because I had to go over to the change.org website and see how many they got so far. So, for decades, LGBTQ plus audiences have fought for a seat at the table in mainstream media. When the BBC launched I Kissed a Girl and its follow-up, I Kissed a Boy, I Kissed a Boy and its follow-up, I Kissed a Girl, it felt like a breakthrough. For the first time, queer joy, dating, and community were given the high production, primetime treatment usually reserved for heteronormative reality TV. Because I'm saying y'all definitely need to give a lot of these queer shows the Love Island budget and pretty much put that out there because I think it's relatively important that we see young queer people in their 20s, maybe their 30s, trying to find love and seeing how that works out. Because look, if the straights can have their fun with their bachelors and their bachelorettes and the Golden Bachelor and all these other shows, why the homosexuals can't get in on the fun? We don't need to be out here doing Zeus Network type shit that the only way the gays get to have some kind of representation, they got to be out here windmilling and not connecting with the fist during the windmilling, or they got to be stupid shit like pop the balloon. This is at least something that is showcasing love and romance and wanting to find love and, of course, drama ensuing. So now they said recent reports and budget shifts show that the future of these groundbreaking series and others like them are in jeopardy. By failing to ring fence funding for queer led programming, the BBC is effectively telling the Biblical Plus community that our stories are disposable luxuries rather than essential public service broadcasting. Saying the BBC is funded by the taxpayer, which includes millions of LGBTQ plus people, it continued. Under its royal charter, the BBC has a duty to reflect the diversity of the UK. Adding the show is a vital lifeline for queer people in isolated or rural areas, and representation shouldn't be the first thing on the chopping block when budgets get tight. Yeah, because my thing is just find a cheaper location. I mean, I thought it was always cheaper to produce reality shows. So I don't understand why y'all all of a sudden want to pinch pennies, but you'll put some of the shittiest programming on and throw all kinds of money behind that. Now, in response, signatories shared their own reasons for putting their names to the petition, including wanting to ensure authentic queer representation remains as accessible on TV, saying we benefit so much from true representation in TV shows like this. How can you justify canceling this show when there's so many straight versions available with multiple seasons? One signatory named Katie wrote, "It's not right." Another fan named Aisha said, "This just shows that LGBTQ rights don't end at marriage equality. Rights including having representation and seeing yourself in mainstream media. And if we keep stripping away queer people's chance to see themselves in real people in shows like this, we're going backwards, not forward with our representation. That's why we need I Kissed a Girl slash Boy and other shows like this. If there is a budget to fund season after season for straight dating shows like Love Island, why is there not a budget for queer dating shows too?" And then you got shows like RuPaul's Drag Race that has to, in order for us to even get those type of shows, they got to do a drag queen snatch game equivalent of Love Island. So we definitely need those. We definitely need the representation out there, even if we're not going to get it scripted. I feel like a lot of times, me growing up, I felt like even though there was like slim pickings when it came to seeing that type of queer representation, we got a lot of that representation by watching a lot of reality TV shows. So we definitely need that, especially in this current climate that we're in of fascism and bigotry and hatred from some of our leaders. I don't know how they're. I mean, if that may be the same case over in the UK, but I feel like a lot of our programming is in jeopardy over in the US as well. So people, you know, people just want to be seen at the end of the day. That's all they want. Is they want to be able they want to be seen. They want to be able to see a show that we're comfortable watching and can see themselves represented in some sort of light. So we gotta stop trying to kowtow to these people and really fight to get these type of shows to continue on the air. So this is unfortunate that shows like this is getting canceled and we're not seeing enough representation for queer people. We just did a story the other day in regards of the amount of shows that are coming that show any kind of queer representation, whether in scripted or non-scripted, is starting to be diluted. So hopefully things get better down the line sooner rather than later. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story regarding this show, I Kissed the Boy, I Kissed the Girl? Whether or not you watch or whatever, I always feel like, look, representation matters, and y'all should not be trying to cut budgets on shows that have cultural impacts, but yet you're continuing to put money behind BS. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.